Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the SKS Airstep Foot Pump. If there's one product that every cyclist owns or should own, it is a bike air pump. And that's required to keep your tires at the proper inflation level. One interesting alternative to the standard track or floor pump are what are known as foot pumps. Not only is it more ergonomic to use your feet to pump up your tires, but it can also be faster and more efficient. What we have here is the SKS Airstep, and this is their foot pump that's actually designed to work right up to road cycling tire levels with up to 102 PSI. You can see the packaging wise, very simple. It is a sort of flimsy box actually. You can see it's kind of damaged from shipping, and it's pretty much open in the middle, so you can actually see the product interact with it. It has the classic orange and black color scheme that matches the SKS logo. You have some instructions on the side and description of why it's more ergonomic. And that's the big thing here. You can see you can actually stand straight and pump it rather than being hunched over. And then multiple languages on the back with some more details about it and specs. So I'll go ahead and take it out of the box and go over these specs. Retail price on this is $99.99. They also have a Digi version of this for about $25 or $20 more. It has an aluminum foot pedal, so really well built. And you have this large analog gauge. It can go up to 7 bar or 102 PSI, which means most road cycling tires, especially with a move toward wider tires, should actually work with this. So previously, most foot pumps were designed with much lower capacity, so it's only a mountain biking thing. With this, you can actually use the wide variety of bikes now. And it's compatible with Dunlap, Shrader, and even Presta valves with this little dual head nozzle. You just pick the correct one and then slide it in. It has an integrated hose storage, so you can see. You can pull it out, and then when you're done using it, you're gonna drop it in, and it has a little tab here as well to hold the nozzle in place. In terms of what comes with the pump, you can see it's just the box, nothing in it. And then this little bracket, and this is actually a bracket to hold up the nozzle head. So if you wanted to place this up on the wall, you could do that. So you could place this higher up on a wall rather than having it on the ground. Now let's go over the fit and finish of the SKS Airstep. What really sets this apart from your standard floor pump is the fact that it's a foot pump. So it's a lot more ergonomic, and you can actually use the leg muscles to pump this up rather than your upper body. So you don't have to be hunched over. In terms of design, it's very compact. You can see a plastic base, SKS branding on the side. The bottom you have the piston, which is hidden here, and that's what really inflates it, so the air is inside that. And then you have these rubber feet, so that'll prevent it from moving around on the ground. So mostly plastic here, and then the big aluminum foot pedal. So it has a nice texture to it as well. And with this little indentations here, this will help grip as well. So you won't be flying around as you're inflating. You have a lock and unlock button on the front. So when it's not being used, you can see it's very small. You just lock it in place and you can see the foot pedal won't move. When you're ready to use it, just simply pop the button to the right. And now you can see the piston opens up and you have this hinged design. So here you just put your feet, push down. So much more ergonomic than your standard floor pump. And when you're done using it again, just lock it. The nozzle is also pretty sleek. So you can see it has a nice integrated storage option with this little hook, a little plastic tab that falls right into there. And you even have a little cutout to indicate where it goes. So you just pop it in place when you're done using it. It's a standard chuck though, so plastic with either the Dunlap Shrader on top and then Presta on the bottom. Pretty easy to figure out which is which, as it won't really work with the other one. Once you get it in there, it has the kind of hammerhead style, so you just toggle it down to lock it in place and then open it up to take it out. Nice long hose as well, so you can see it stretches out quite a bit. So it should accommodate, even though it's on the ground, it should accommodate bikes on a stand or higher positions. What's also nice is you have this integrated hose storage system. So you can see it simply wraps around and you just kind of nudge it in place and it goes around the gauge, and then use a little plastic tab, position it on the hole and then pop it in. The gauge itself is analog, pretty easy to read with PSI written on the face. It goes 0 to 100 and with most wider tires, that means you can actually use this on your road bike. Personally, I usually do around 95 PSI. So I can actually use this on my road bike. It's not just a mountain biking thing anymore. So that's really nice about this. The higher capacity makes it compatible with a lot of bikes. Now let's take a look at the SKS pump in action. Here we have it in the storage position. So I can simply unlock it with the switch and then pull the nozzle off. Then it has a simple chuck. So we place it in the right hole for the Presta. Then pull down on the head to lock it in place. Then you can simply use your feet. So this is best done with normal shoes rather than cycling shoes. But you can see pretty good stability. You just want to place your heel or center of your foot right in the middle and then start pumping. So some of the negatives here, you can see it is fairly stable, but if you were to tilt, it will tilt. So you really have to keep your foot centered and then just push down. What I like about this is you can actually get to road cycling level. So usually 90, 95 is sufficient for most road bikes or even commuters. Now once you're done, pull the chuck off, lock your Presta, and then you can lock this in place. It would have been nice if you could do this with your feet instead of your hands, but otherwise you just kind of place this over and then lock the head in, and you're done. Now just to show you a comparison with a normal pump, you'd have to do a very similar operation. Here I have the Topeak Digi. So I place it on the valve, release a little bit of air. Same thing, lock it in place, and here you have to use your hands. It is slightly more efficient, I think, in terms of the amount of air per pump versus the foot one, but you can reach the same pressures. But you can see it's a little more involved here. You have to use your full body, while with the Airstep, you simply use your feet. Now let's do a quick comparison between the Airstep and some other pumps. We actually have the Digi version here. So you can see it's identical design. The foot pedal is also aluminum, but here it's in black. It gives a little bit of a sleeker look versus the aluminum finish. The Digi is about $20, $25 more. And the main difference is the gauge. So you can see when it's on, you get that nice black and orange finish. And the digital gauge, which is a lot easier to read than the PSI only Airstep. With the Digi, you can also convert between bar, but with a just quick button press. Otherwise identical. Is it worth the increase in price? That depends on what you prefer. The downside to any digital style gauge is the fact that you do now have a battery they have to maintain, while something like the Airstep with the analog gauge is something you can use for years and never have to worry about it. You also have the Topeak JoeBlow here. It's also very large, so you can see this is a standard floor pump. You lean down, push. The thing I wanted to show here was the fact that the Topeak, this is not their smart head. This is a little bit a lower end model, very similar chucks. This is the main part that gets a lot of use and abuse. And usually these are replaceable, so if they ever get damaged, at least Topeak has always been there and helped me replace them when I needed it, or offer replacements on their website. The Topeak is a little bit sleeker, and you can see it has a rotational design instead, so you just rotate it in the direction you want to lock it. But again, you have to know which side is which, so the bigger one would be Shrader, Dunlap, and then the smaller one would be for the Presta valve. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the SKS Airstep. What we like about it is as an ergonomic design. You don't have to lean over, you can use your leg muscles, which is more efficient. It also has a compact form factor, which makes it really easy to store and portable. So if you need to take it to an event, you just throw it in your trunk. It also has an integrated hose storage directly around the gauge, which is really convenient and compact. Some of the cons for the floor pump is the fact that it has a dual-headed nozzle, unlike some of the Topeak smart heads, which automatically determine which is which. It has 2 spots, so you have to remember which is which. And also the lock button could be more accessible. You have to use your hand to unlock it and lock it. It would have been nice if it was foot operated instead. Taking everything into account, we'd give the pump an 8.8 out of 10. It's a great ergonomic foot pump that actually reach higher capacities for road bikes as well. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.